Alright, I'm back again for more ham radio stuff, trying to make a few contacts here. It's Saturday morning. A lot of storms have just passed here. So I'm pulling out the radio to see what's out there. I've got an endfed antenna, so I had to take it down while the rain was passing through. I'm not really looking for any specific type of contacts. We're going to look at the pota spot page. We're going to look at some of the QSO parties. I believe the Kentucky QSO party is going on right now. Yeah, here it is way down here. Kentucky QSO party. But it only goes from to 01 Zulu. It's only a few hours, but it's going on right now. That is my FM I need to turn off. The exchange for Kentucky will be a signal report plus your state. Unless you are in Kentucky, then you would send a signal report plus your county. Pop something in the chat here. I didn't hear any DX last night. There was some type of solar storm that rolled through, and that knocked out 20 meters, so I couldn't do any DXing last night. So let's pull up Hamrs and the spot page here. And we're going to see if we can find anyone we can talk to. I think I got the camera working correctly again. FTDX10. We want to go to there. We're going to start on 20 meters on the pota spot page. It's a little loud. Let's go 27 there. Make sure my bandwidth's at 300. Set my span back up. Alright, let's see if we can hear anyone. There's someone on 041. Just gotta see if I can figure out who it is. This is VE1, which means they're in Canada. It's an HB9 call sign, and they're portable. Alright, Hamrs doesn't like all that VE1 stuff. Alright, they're from Switzerland, but they're visiting Canada, and they are portable. Hamrs. But They are very low and I can barely hear them, so I will move on. Again, there's a feature in Hamrs where when you click to switch to the frequency, if it's the CW, it switches it to lower sideband, no matter what frequency you're on. That's a Hamrs bug. So I have to switch it back to upper sideband when I'm on 20 meters here. I'm not hearing this South Carolina, so I will move on. Michigan. Not hearing that. Seven minutes ago it says nothing from Illinois, nothing from Kansas. I heard a dit there. I'll turn my level back down. Turned it up when I was messing around with CW. I normally have that set to power. Alright, moving on. And that PSK 31 contest is still going on also. This thing right here. I was doing some PSK last night, but 20 meters completely died on me. And I switched over to 40 meters. I made some PSK contacts, but once I contacted the 4 or 5 people that were calling CQ, there's no one else to talk to. KE9BHN in Wisconsin. Who is that? Okay, I've talked to him before, that's why his call sign looks familiar. 1459. Not having much luck from the QTH at home. There's a CQ. That signal's fading though. Fading from Wisconsin. Knock some of the noise out of there. Turned on the amplifier, didn't get any much louder, so signal completely faded. It started out strong, but then it faded away. And as usual, when I finish the contact, it comes back stronger. Alright, that was Albert in Wisconsin. He's out at a state park doing pota. Alright, we'll keep going. 14070, that's normally the PSK frequency. So you might be getting some interference there. 14074 sideband, that's normally the FT8 frequency. Alright, 124 to 217 is below my privileges, so I have to go to 232 here. They're down in the noise there in Illinois. There's somebody below 247.
November 4th, Sierra, Kentucky QSO Party.
That's the Kentucky QSO Party.
Okay, I got a mobile station, Sierra Papa Oscar, maybe.
I think he said November 4, Sierra Sierra.
Hey, I barely got in. Kilo Italy 4, Sierra Papa Oscar, you're 59, Rock Castle County, Romeo Oscar Charlie. Your report again? Kilo Italy 4, Sierra Papa Oscar, I need to report.
Here on the meter. But I put the attenuator on, it knocks out some of the sound.
Roger on North Carolina,
it messes up the signal report. I'm going to see if I can get this
November 4, Sierra, Kentucky QSO Party.
Power's not at the right spot.
Okay, November 5, Delta Echo Alpha 59, Rock Castle County, Romeo Oscar Charlie.
Alright, this is the Kentucky QSO Party.
UK 73, Kilo Z.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, Kilo Golf 5, Papa, November 59, Rock Castle County, Romeo Oscar Charlie.
Kilo Golf 5, he said.
I'm not in a park, I'm doing the Kentucky QSO Party, Roger. My call sign is November 4, Sierra.
And you see the signals fading there? It'll fade in and out.
Roger, I got you Kilo Golf 5, Papa, November, and I give you 5-9 from Rock Castle County, Romeo Oscar Charlie, your state?
Contact. I think they mean contest.
Roger on Texas. Well, you got a good signal for...
Could make a joke about Kentucky, but I won't. It's too easy.
Roger.
See, right here it says contact.
I hope you're enjoying it. 73. This is November 4, Sierra, Kentucky QSO Party.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, let's get the Romeo Yankee.
Alright, you're not hearing me at 80 watts here. I'll give you one more try. Kilo India 5, Whiskey Tango.
Again.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, do I have a Kilo Oscar station?
Nope, he said Kilo Oscar. Alright, the signal is fading. I'm going to wait for him to fade back in. It's fading out. I need it to fade back in.
Got it. Kilo Charlie 6, Victor
Right.
Charlie Hotel, 5-9 into Rock Castle County.
There it is. It
Romeo
faded back
Archie
in.
Charlie. I-73, do a QRZ from November 4th, Sierra, Kentucky Pizza Party.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Whiskey Tango.
Okay, the Alpha India 5 station. Hey, let me get this changed. 5-7 Arkansas. You're 5-9 into Rock Castle County. Romeo Oscar Charlie.
Believe you were 5-5, sir.
Good luck. QRZ from November 4th, Sierra, Pizza Party.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey Whiskey Tango.
Okay, the Delta X-ray hold November Bravo 3 Whiskey 5-9 into Rock Castle County.
All right, he is not hearing me in Kentucky.
Roger, 33. Now the station on hold.
So I will move on. That was at 2:46. I just happened to pass him as I was looking at the POTA spot page. I think I talked to one or two of those guys this morning. Let's see here. No, it was just one guy this morning. KM4RO. He was 5'7" at that time. 14,284 is where we are. Again, I'm just hunting the spot page here, just seeing what I can hear. And as I'm hunting the spot page, I'm keeping an eye on my waterfall. See if there are any other signals like that Kentucky QSO party. Got 2 stations spotted on 328, one in Kentucky, one in Colorado. N2 LOL. That's a good call sign. N2 LOL. AI Wyoming. I'm not hearing much on 20 meters here. Georgia. You got a 2 for a Georgia from 13.344 and 347 Utah. Knock that attenuator off. Alright, first pass through 20 meters, got 1 voice contact. And let's try some CW. Did we try CW? Yeah, we did CW. Alright, let's just look at the waterfall. Let's see if we can find someone. There's something down there. If it starts up, I'll click it again. Right there. Alright, I hear that. Is that the one I just did? Yeah, that's what I couldn't
November
hear.
0 Tango Tango Zulu 5-9 in Rock Castle County.
Roger, 5-9 Wyoming, Whiskey Yankee.
Roger, Whiskey Yankee. It's a new one for me, 73.
73.
QRZ from November 4th, Sierra, Sierra.
Alright, I couldn't get that one before.
Okay, I got a station with Delta in it again.
So let me see if there's anything else on the waterfall. On 20 meters. There's something right there to the right. Big static charge going across. There's something on 260 something and then it went away. See, there's
We appreciate you. Thanks for all the noise there. We got a lot of stuff going on. We appreciate you. 73. This is Kilo 8 Echo plus the two-maker. What do you think is on the air? See what it does?
I believe you said Kilo 8 Echo.
November 5.
Special event museum ships weekend.
November 5 Romeo, sure.
I don't think I saw that on the contest calendar. Let me go back and look.
Roger, roger. I got you as a 5x3. What's the tip again?
Don't see it there.
All right, we got the USS Razorback, the U.S. submarine. Thank you so much for the contact, my friend. This is KE8.
There is a ARRL digital contest going on. It says digital modes, but no RTTY. I'm on the wrong screen.
This is KE USS.
1800 Zulu is when it starts. Got about another hour for that.
CQ Museum Ships Weekend. CQ Museum Ships Weekend. This is Kilo 8 Echo. Kilo 8 Echo calling CQ and listening.
Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango.
I got a 215.
Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango.
215 Alpha Papa Wheeler 59 into Toledo, Ohio today, sir.
That's not what I said, sir.
Roger, roger, my friend. Hand over here, Chris. Thanks for the contact. 73. This is Kilo 8 Echo for the museum ships on the air. USS.
Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango.
Kilo Quebec 4 Lima.
Kilo Quebec 4, Quebec Oscar, Quebec Oscar, QSL.
Roger, roger. I got the Kilo Quebec 4 Lima Quebec Oscar.
Roger, roger, 59, West Texas, and Toledo.
Roger, roger. I got the 59, 59 into Toledo, Ohio today, sir.
Roger, roger, Chris.
Thank you so much, sir. 73, Kilo 8 Echo Museum ships on the air.
Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango.
Landing in Tango.
Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango.
Kilo India 5 with Whiskey Tango 556 at the Texas Toledo, Ohio today.
Roger, roger. Got you 5-5 in North Texas, outside of Dallas.
Roger, roger, my friend. Thanks for the contact. 73.
73, and thank you.
Kilo 8 Echo for the museum ships on the air. USS. I got Whiskey Delta 0. Whiskey Alpha 0, Victor Sierra Whiskey, you're 59 in the mother bender.
Alright, there's a sideband with the museum ships on the air.
Kings and Shoemaker. What state are you in, sir?
We found that just by looking at the
Roger, roger,
waterfall.
roger. Thank you so much for the contact. 73, this is Kilo 8
Some more out to the right there. Looking for those little dashes at the top. Giving an indicator that there's some activity there. And he faded away. There was activity there, now it's gone. Okay, we'll move on. Kilo Mike 4 Radio Oscar, that's the one I already talked to, I believe. Yep. 2 hours ago. So I will stay on the waterfall looking for contacts. Not seeing much. All the way out to 347. Back down to 225. I'm gonna just scroll over. Trying to line up those. His signal did get stronger there. Alright, missed it by a little bit. Romeo Oscar Charlie.
You will upload these logs to Logbook of the World. No problem. 73. 73. This is November 4th, Sierra.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
Alpha Delta Station first. Okay, Kilo 0 Alpha Delta. It looks like a beat, but 5-9 Rock Castle County. Romeo Oscar Charlie. All right, I log them anyway. I just keep on hammering. I don't know that. This is November 4th, Sierra.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, let's get the Kilo Alpha 9 station.
It's like he still can't hear me. He said Kilo Alpha.
Hey, I messed that now. Kilo Echo 9 again. Is it Kilo Echo 9? Roger on the 5 and 5. You're 5-9 into Rock Castle County, Kentucky. Roger.
I've tried this guy a few times and I haven't been able to get him.
Roger 73. Kilo Z from November 4th, Sierra.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, I got a station ending with Tango.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, I probably got it mixed up with 2 of you, but anyway, I'm going to give it to you. November 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango, 5-9, Rock Castle.
Damn it. I hit the wrong button again.
Oh. I still got a station ending with Tango. Let's try it.
Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
Okay, Kilo India 5. I thought I had it mixed up with 2 of you. Kilo India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango, 5-9 into Rock Castle County.
Roger that. I got you 5-5 in North Texas, outside of Dallas.
Okay, 5-5 into the state again?
Texas, Tango X-Ray.
73. Now the other station ended with Tango. Got it, November 5, Juliet Delta Tango, 5-9 into Rock Castle County, Romeo Oscar Charlie.
Alright, save that.
Roger, New Mexico.
Alright, I tried him about 10 times and he didn't hear me. And then I was trying to click over here. Let me switch it over here. I was trying to click over here and change this to SWR.
Okay, I got a November 2 station.
But I couldn't click it fast enough, so it it disappeared, and I clicked down here and it changed the frequency on me. And when it changed the frequency on me, I had to switch back over and try to get back in. So he finally heard me though, so I'm gonna scan the rest of the 20-meter band for voice. I'm just looking at the waterfall right now. Don't see much on the waterfall. There's something out to the right there, and of course it dies when I start moving toward it. That's the guy I talked to already. KM4 Radio Oscar. I want to move on away from that. I don't hear any nets going on this morning. Usually if I hear a net, if it's one of those where you can just check in, I will. But if it's one of those where they want to put you on a list and they come back to you, I don't check into those.
Alpha from Whiskey 4, Charlie Echo Bravo.
Whiskey 4. Charlie Echo Bravo.
Good luck.
He might have been calling. He was calling.
Uniform Delta, with that.
I'm not hearing the person calling CQ.
Kilo India 4, Uniform Delta, with that.
So we'll move on from there. Alright, we've scanned 20 meters. Let's check some of the other bands here for pota spots. Someone spotted on 6 meters. 50.180. I don't hear anything at all there. Usually if I want to see if there's anything active on 6 meters, I will switch over to the FT8 frequency. And see if I hear any noise, any type of digital noise. And since I'm not hearing anything there, I'm going to assume that 6 meters is not open for me. Oh, there we go. I had to adjust my tuner. 9.5. So on 6 meter FT8, I got a faint signal there. I can go back and listen on 50.180, upper side band. But I don't hear anything. Check the calling frequency down at 5125. Nothing heard there. So I will assume 6 meters is not open for me. I know that 10 meters is not open. Have to put noise reduction on for 10 meters. Nothing heard on 10 meters. Alabama station calling CQ. 12 meters. $15 meters has been dead for the last couple of weeks here in Texas for me. Still not hearing much on the 15 meters. 15 was A7. Still nothing heard. FT8 for 15 meters is 21074. I could just go upper sideband and listen. So FT8 is open on 15 meters, but I'm not hearing any sideband or CW. Georgia, 17 meters. Something's down to the noise there, but I can't hear it. Illinois, Utah. There's two stations on 18161, but they are down in my noise. I can barely hear them. Alright. Someone's on 60 meters, it looks like. Alright, nothing heard there. But I did want to go back to 6 meters on FT8. So I'm going to open up WSJTX, which takes up the entire screen. I'm going to get rid of this other stuff so you don't have to see it. I'm going to also bring up Grid Tracker. I just let Grid Tracker log the connections for me, well, the contacts to QRZ automatically, so I don't have to worry about doing it. I'm going to move all this over here. It's normally on another window. Alright, so Grid Tracker here will talk to WSJTX. We got to turn that volume way down. Alright, I've got to be at 38 here. I got to set my tuner for 20 meters, which is A5. And my power needs to be at 40. Could go higher, but I don't need to. Disable the noise reduction. Alright, so we should be set for... And I didn't want to go to 20 meters. I wanted to go to 6 meters. So I need to go to A9.5 on my tuner. I need to switch this to 6 meters. Now I just heard some signals on 50.313, so I want to see if I can get a signal out on 6 meters. And I gotta put this somewhere else. This right here. Because I want this other screen to show. Keep my ham alerts here. Is it 1722? There's Mike, KG2MM. Let's see if I can reach Mike real quick. Get out of WSJTX. Go here. Nope. Take that and put it there. CW. I keep my ham alerts in this top window and just DX spots from Texas in this lower window. I talk to Mike on one of the Facebook groups and I try to do CW with him whenever I can. KQ3Q is Liddy, but I can't hear Liddy all the time. So I'm not hearing KG2 Mike on 20 meters, which is A5. Just wanted to try. Alright, so I'm going to go back to 6 meters, which was 9.5. Get back into WSJTX. What? Alright, I thought I closed that. Alright, I did close WSJTX, so let's see. And let's bring it back up. Back up here. Put that right there. I killed any instance of WSJTX that might have been running. So I'm going to go back to 6 meters and A9.5. And here's some signals there. Let's see if I can call CQ in this next round. Oops, not hearing anything though. And it might be because FLDIGI is open. I think FLDIGI and WSJTX conflict sometimes. So I'll kill the thing that was there and restart it. Alright, and now we got signals over here on 6 meters. 40 watts, blah blah blah. Okay, I am hearing some things. There's EM13. So I'm going to see if I can make contact with I think I got my monitor turned on. Where's SWR is low. ALC is a little higher than I'd like it to be. Alright, that's good for ALC right there. N5 BCA is, it says Dallas, Texas. That's probably too close. Did not mean to call CQ, but I'll let it go ahead. I'm on 6 meters calling CQ with FT8. Where's this thing here? Power's at 40, ALC is low, SWR is non-existent, so that's good. So we're on 6 meters trying to see if we can make some contacts. Sounds like it's mostly local. The one CQ that I see here is from my same grid square. So it might just be open locally. Oh, I was going to turn off my monitor. I'll wait till it gets through transmitting. Monitor level. Set off. Alright, I want to call CQ on evens. You can see there's no other signals. And I got a enable. I got a spot here on FT8, but it says negative 22 dB. What do you mean? What do you mean you're not seeing enough video? Alright, my stream health says poor. Whatever that means. And I don't know how to get out of that. Alright, we're still sending CQ on 6 meters. It looks like the stream is frozen. Or maybe I'm just delayed. If you're in the chat there, can you let me know if the stream is still going? I got some yellow thing says error on my screen here. Alright, calling CQ on 6 meters, but I'm not getting any responses. And these two that I see sending and receiving are local to me. So there's probably nothing on 20 meters right now. So I'm going to switch over to 20 meters in just a second here. There's some traffic coming in on. There's traffic here on the frequency that I'm. Well, there was traffic. Now it's gone. Back to 20 meters. I got to switch over to A5. Get rid of all that. Get ready to call CQ. Or I can just pick up one of these. ALC is high. I'm going to leave it there, and I'm just going to change it in WSJTX. This little slider here, you can also adjust the amount you have going outbound. So let's see it click there. It's way up. I come down. I'm just adjusting this slider until my ALC moves down. to below 1 or 1. Alright, that's good. Alright, he did not respond. And I've already been spotted on Hamrs there. Been spotted on Hamrs at 1 dB, which is a better signal. You want 0 or above. Who was that? That was KD2YCK. And I'm guessing that I was getting that error because I was doing FT8 and nothing much was moving on the screen, so YouTube thought nothing was coming across. I'm going to turn that audio down. There's a response from KD2YCK in New Jersey. Now here's kind of a map that I get from Grid Tracker. Most of the traffic is out to my east. Alright, and there's that log. This is WSJTX. Now when I hit OK here, Grid Tracker also logs it to QRZ, so I don't have to worry about uploading the logs later on. Not much going out to the west here. I got a CQ pota right there. Respond to that CQ pota. Good morning, Randy. How are you? I looked at 20 meters for voice. I only found a few. It has something to do with my endfed antenna. It doesn't pick up too well during the day. So I made a few sideband contacts and a CW contact. Doing a little FT8 right now on 20 meters. I tried it on 6 meters, but I was only seeing local signals, like here in the Dallas area, and they were not responding to me. I just want to make a few contacts here to see what the propagation is looking like on 20 meters. Again, my signal over here was 1 dB. Just for that one station though. Alright, this guy's not responding. So I'm looking at the call roster here for Grid Tracker. And I'm looking in this column here for the best signal right here. When these turn back to 0 and start counting, I'm looking for the best signal here. Like that -3. And I'll try to make contact with that one. That's just when I'm hunting. Sometimes I'll call CQ, sometimes not. Depends on how I'm feeling this morning. I just had a bunch of rain go through, so I can't really do anything outside. I did cut the front yard this morning. I cut half of it and I was sweating really hard. It was only 81 degrees. But I was sweating really hard and got it done and had to sit down for a couple hours, get some rest. But now with this rain here, you can't really do anything. You can't go out and go fishing, of course, because it might rain again. I believe there's more rain on the way. There's a response from 89GE. What do we got here? Yeah, most of that rain is all past up here. Alright, 20 meters, 89G, whatever, 89 FLDIGI from Indiana. All right, he's not responding, so he's not hearing me again. All right, there's the 73 from him. 00. He's got me at a -10 in Indiana. Yeah, we have those tests up in Plano, Texas, where I work. I believe it's the first Wednesday of the month. And since I don't work there, I don't really keep track of when they're going to do it. So when it goes off, I have to ask someone: is it a test or is it real? All right, I'm going to take a look at the PSK reporter map after this contact to see where my signal's going. And I'm just moving the mouse around because I got some type of alert from YouTube that it wasn't receiving enough traffic, enough video traffic. Because when I'm doing FT8, nothing's really going on the screen. Alright, AI4QT is not responding to me. Oh, there you go. Now this new version of WSJTX version 3, I had clicked it where it was transmit was disabled, but since someone responded to me, it went ahead and responded to them. I guess that's a new feature here. Yeah, I'm going to try some of that digital contest, even though it says you can't do RTTY. I'm pretty sure it's going to be packed here. I was trying to do it on 6 meters, but I was only getting local contacts here, local in the Dallas area. So I don't think 6 meters is open right now. Alright, he didn't respond. Oh well, he's not responding. I was going to take a quick look at the PSK reporter. PSK, there we go. Alright, no response from AI4QT. This is what my PSK map looks like. .94% of transmitters are right here. Mostly out to the east. This is how it looks normally during the day. You can see the little red ones here are the 6 meter. So 6 meters is not really open for me. It's open locally, and I had a few up here. And let's see if I can get out of here. Alright, that looks good. I'm going to bet that I screwed up my FLDIGI, so I'm going to give it a try. Close grid tracker and close gonna open up grid tracker. Oh, it's still there. If you go to what is it? contestcalendar.com, but I keep closing. There's the digital contest you were talking about. Starts in about 13 minutes. They say you can't do any RTTY on it but it's a worldwide contest, so if there's any DX propagation, you can make a few contacts there. But there is still this 3-day weekend PSK 31 contest. I did a few of them yesterday before the ban dropped. I'm going to try to do a few more of them. So we'll go 14070. And we will look for some of these PSK signals. I knew this has to be down like 33. No, I'm not hearing anything. Let me make sure I've got everything set right. 3 there. Upper sideband 3000, 40. Oh, I got my volume way down too. Alright, it's starting to decode. Alright, here's a CQ. I've already worked W0IZ, that's why it turns red here. There's another signal over here. It's not picking it up though. What is this? N8 TCP is calling QRZ question mark here. See that in the signal browser. His signal's not strong enough though. It's not breaking the squelch over here. So I'm going to turn the squelch off and see if that signal will come in. See the CQ at the end, but I don't see the rest of it. Alright, so let's move right here and give a few CQs here. And keep that there. And put that right there. Let's go CQ. I don't like that ALC. I'm gonna bring it down. Alright, we're calling CQ on 14070 using PSK 31. Using FLDIGI, of course. FLDIGI does multiple digital modes. You go to op mode on the menu here and you can select all these different modes you can use. And you always know which mode you're in by looking at the lower left hand corner right here. Alright. I'm going to call CQ again. I keep losing sight of that thing. Alright, 40 watts, SWR is down, ALC is down, so that's good. This is supposed to be a worldwide contest, but if you don't have the DX propagation, you don't get all the traffic that you want. We'll see if some of these ARL people will come in and give you a few more contacts in 8 minutes. No one's responding to my CQ. This would be better over here in this empty space. Alright, I've sent 5 CQs with no response. Bonus station down there, N8 TCP, looking in the signal window here. I'm going to go down there after I give this a second. Yeah, I've just been spotted on 14070 during PSK. So I just moved down by clicking in the signal window. And I may already have this bonus station. Let me check. The bonus stations are 100 points. Alright, 73 and good luck. NA0Q. He called CQ about a minute ago, so I assume he's typing and not just clicking buttons like I am. W4BZN. Okay, here we go. Bonus CQ. It is N8 TCP. Oh, I haven't worked that one. Alright, I'll send my response there. See if you can hear me. There he is responding with KI5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. Please copy 2693. I click that 2693 and it puts it into the exchange box right here. And then I just hit log QSO and that logs it for me. And I saw a few of the other guys were putting their grid square into the exchange, even though it's not required, so I put it into my exchange just to match the other ones. Somebody said KI5WK. I'm assuming he was saying me and putting a K at the end. There's a signal way over here. It's very faint. Alright, I'm going to call CQ a few more times on PSK. And then I'll switch to that AARL digital contest. Alright, here's NO8R responding to my CQ. Op AC. Please CTFY. I did not get any of that. So I'll send it again. Looks like he started sending, but then it got chopped off. So he's sending again. Alright, there we go. 777. QSL, he's asking. And I will send my thank you and log the connection. Now, if anyone knows if I'm supposed to send an SK or just a K at the end of my final transmission, let me know. Alright, no one responded, so I'll send another CQ. You got 2 minutes for your digital contest to start. We'll see if more people pop in here. Although I would assume that if someone's doing PSK, they would know about the 3-day contest that's going on. And they would already be here. But you never know, so give it a try. There's another signal up there from WB9 KVI. I've already got you. You can watch the signal browser on the left and you can see other signals being sent as well. Let me see what the exchange is for this digital contest. Of course, I don't want to miss anything over here. ARL International Digital Contest. The exchange is your 4-character grid square. Okay. So Echo Mike 1-2 for me. Alright, I see these 3 other signals here. I've worked all 3 of those already. So I would usually take a break and come back in 20 or 30 minutes and see if anyone else is available there. So that's going to be my last CQ for PSE. I see KG7BAD down here. There's W8 Tom down there. I got him yesterday as well. KG7BAN. I haven't got that one. Alright, I'm just looking for stations that I have not worked. Let's look at my logbook here. Alright, so I got 27 contacts that are PSK. Most of them were on 20 meters. A few were on 40 meters last night. Right here, I worked that W0IZ at 124, and right there is when the 20 meter band dropped. There was nothing on the waterfall that I could see. And I've lost my other screen. That. Put that on top. There we go. Now I believe if you're doing the ARRL thing with with WSJTX doing FT8, you have to set some type of contest mode. I don't remember what it was. Grid tracker. Let's go 20 meters. Sounds kind of long. Alright, let's see if I can find the setting for that. Special operating activity. Worldwide digital contest, maybe? I don't remember which one of these you have to select, but you have to. It will shorten up the exchange. That's for field day. That says ARRL digital contest. Special operating checks. ARL digital contest. Alright, we're going to see if that does it. I don't want to see the contest log. Alright, what I normally do when I start a contest with FT8 is I go in and I create a new log file. I don't remember where the log file is though. Alright, it's in my local share WSJTX. And yes, you can do this with a GUI or some program, but I like to do it from the command line because it's faster in theory. It'd be easier if I just copied this. Alright, so the log file is this one right here. I'm sorry, it's this one. And I move it to what's today? 06/06/2026. Alright, and when I start up WSJTX again, it'll create another file once I start logging. So I'm in FLDIGI. Alright, there's CQ test. Alright, it's already filled it in for me right here. It says CQ test Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. And now you can see over here, got a lot more calls listed. Put my meter screen right there. There's a UF4S call sign from European Russia that's getting through at -15. Alright, I got one for Vermont. My power is not much. Wonder why. That's why. There's my power up to 40 watts now. SWR and ALC are low, so that's good. Alright, no response from NZ7W. And try the next one. Got some room, I can move that over. Alright, this is the ARRL digital contest. I'm doing FT8 right now. You can see it says ARRL Digi right here. You have to go into settings, under advanced, click where it says special operating activity, and set it to ARRL digital contest. That's back to 23. Alright, I'm not getting a response, so I'm going to call CQ. I'm going to call CQ on even though. Got to make sure I'm in a blank area right here. See, it's red. That's where I'm going. There's NZW though. NZW, I hope you're doing the contest. Yeah, here he is up here. I responded to him twice and he didn't respond. And he's not responding again, so I will stop you. Now I'll let you finish because I'm going to call CQ on the even, which is there. So no one's sending in this little area that I'm in, so I'm going to call CQ. So it says CQ test, my call sign in the grid square. So hopefully they will only respond if they're doing the contest. Now NZ7W responded again, but I'm not going to go back to him because he didn't respond the other time. I'm going to give someone else a chance. There's K4VHE out of Alabama. It says receive Echo Mike 12. So I sent him my grid square. Then I get a RR73. And you see in the log here, under the exchange, it pops in our grid squares. And it's a much shorter exchange. So I'll go back into calling CQ again. I tried to hunt a few of these, but I didn't get any responses, so I'm just calling CQ right now on FT8. And you can see the graph here for WSJTX. It's full now. There's an open space right here. Alright, calling CQ. 1736, 1836. My ham alert's not gonna send another alert for an hour because I've limited it that way so I don't see multiple ham alerts coming through. Alright, we're calling CQ. I've sent 3 CQs. And most of the traffic I'm seeing is from the northeast here. All of these. And I am at 40 watts. Alright, we got 2 responses. One from Connecticut in 1ZN, one from Massachusetts, K01 uniform. We'll see if I can work both of them though. Alright, I got that. I will let that finish sending. Then I will double click the one for KO1U to see if I can go back and get him or her. Get them. Alright, I'm sending to KO1U, who responded earlier, right here. Alright, doesn't look like he's responding. So I will stop sending and call CQ. Now my, where's this screen? This grid tracker screen was half full before. So I guess the 20-meter signal's going up and down like normal. It'll fill up again in a few minutes. But you can see there's traffic all across the graph here for FT8. We'll try a little FT4 also just to see. I'm going to try this WSX number. W6SX from California had a plus 5 dB signal here. And he responds, says I have a minus 11. I don't know if he's in the contest or not. I assume he is because it's orange here. Alright, he sent a 73. And I did get the grid square. So the grid square is being picked up. I'm guessing even if they're not in the contest. Alright, let's take a look at this thing again. Our PSK reporter is still all in the US, but they're all jammed up now. Alright. Let's switch over to FT4. Double click erase to clear both boxes. I assume the exchange would be twice as fast on FT4. But he's not responding. He or she is not responding. Alright, no response. So I'm clicking on into AXX in my grid tracker screen here. There's a response, and there's a finish. See how fast that exchange was? Jesus. Now move on to the next one. There's a 73. I'm just looking for the ones that say CQ test because it'll be a short exchange. Oops, no response there. I'll give them 2 tries. If they don't respond, I'll move on to the next one. There's a response. And even though again, when you click You tell it to not to transmit anymore. If someone responds to you, it sends the response in this version 3.0. I don't know if that's a setting or something somewhere I may have turned on. CQ pota, CQ test. I'm looking for CQ test, not CQ pota. So if you want to get that short exchange going, remember you have to go under settings, under advanced, click it on special operating activity and set it for the digital contest right there. Okay, this guy's not responding, so it won't respond to you. Oh, I told it to stop transmitting there, so we'll see if he responds. And then WSJTX just kicks in and responds to it. Let's find the next one. There's a bunch of them there. NA7TB out of Arizona. You see down here the FT4 sends in 7.5 seconds. So it sends in half the time of FT8. And then you have it in contest mode, so it's going to be shorter than that. Darn it. Alright, N4IW says CQARRL. He needs to switch over and watch my live stream here so he knows to go set it to the digital contest. CCrew WW for worldwide. Alright, AC8ZU. If he responds, it should get picked up by WSJTX and get the auto response. But he's not responding to me, he's responding to NI9D. Alright, we're responding to AE2V. Again, the exchange is just your grid square. Alright, not responding either. Out of Tennessee. Alright, no one's responding to me as I'm hunting. So I'll find an open spot over here. Probably about there. That's where I'm going to be transmitting. Click it on CQ TX6 and enable. And we will let it transmit and see what it does. I tried hunting a few of them, but I wasn't getting a lot of response from them. So there's someone in Alabama responding to my CQ. There's the 73 and they're done. You have to go back and turn back on, so you call CQ again. I'm guessing this would be a good time to go out and do some pota since everyone's doing digital modes. You won't have the big crowds up on sideband. What do we got here? We got WSJTX version 3 doing FT4 for the ARRL digital contests. Where did my thing go? That's... I'm running the FTDX10. We're running at 40 watts. 40 watts because you don't need 50, 60, 70 watts for FT8 and FT4. They are weak signal, so you don't have to have a bunch of power. Propagation's not there to go do DX over into Europe right now. So most of these contacts are from the US. You can see here. So I'm just calling CQ on FT4 and just letting it roll. Again, you go to, well, let me let this one finish. Boom, that's finished. You go to contestcalendar.com. See if I can do this. Go to contestcalendar.com. These are all the contests that are going on. Here is the ARRL International Digital Contest. It lets you know that the exchange is your 4-character grid square. And it's any digital mode except for RTTY. Alright, that contact completed. And I'll click it on enable again. And since this is a ARRL contest, most people use WSJTX. You go under File and Settings. Look under the Advanced there. There's an option down here for Special Operating Activity. You want to click that on and set it to ARRL Digital Contest. That's going to give you a much shorter exchange during the contest. Alright, let me pull all this stuff back out. I'm still getting responses. And I'm clicking the enable. So I really don't have to even watch the screen. I just click enable and I can see a red or something over here, which means someone's answering. And I stopped calling CQ for a little while there. That's why my map is showing that. It says refresh in 3 minutes. So if I go over and look at my QRZ logbook, these are all those contacts that I'm making on FT8 and FT4. The grid tracker is set up to send the logs to QRZ, and WSJTX keeps a log as well. Got one incoming. Who is this incoming? AI4QT. Did I close that thing? Alright, there's a reset. Another contact. Click enable. Let's go look and see if I can find who AI4 QT is. Fifth. I don't have an AI for QT. In Hamrs, you can upload directly to QRZ. It'll send those 12. Done. Don't need this open, so I'm going to close it. Who is this? AI for QT says that we made a contact today. It would have to be some type of digital contact. And I have a script that'll go and search my WSJTX logs and any of the save logs that I have. So this one says we made a contact today. Alright, I'm going to stop calling CQ, see if no one else responds. Today is what? The 0606. Well, what's the QSO date is today. Alright, I stopped calling CQ there. There's someone responding to me still. I'm going to answer that one. Still looking for this AI 4. 0924. I don't have you in my logs, sir. Oh, there we go, right there, under the all.txt. Alright, they're all at the top here. Alright, this KQ4 ETC is not responding, so I'll stop transmitting. Alright, I'll look at AI for QT later. It looks like I didn't get an RR73 from him, or an RRR, which is why it's not logged. So, what's that, 1137. So we're going to switch to 15 meters. Well, we're going to switch to FT8 first. Then we're going to switch to 15 meters. We got to go A7 over here on my tuner. Ah, there's Jim doing some pota, I hope. Let's do this. Let's stop that. So we're not monitoring in WSJTX. Oh, Jim just moved to 17 meters. Alright, I have to close WSJTX apparently. Jim is on 18082.5 CW. I'm not hearing you though, Jim. Trying to get this, this is a ham alert I got from Jim, who does CW, mostly pota. I'm not hearing the signal though. There is something down in the noise there. Alright, there it is. I'm going to see if Jim's spotted on the pota spot page. Under 17 meters. And there he is right there. I'm not hearing him though. Alright, not hearing you, Jim, so I'm going to move on. Alright, we got a CQ, but you're down in my noise. Can't see if that's moving or not. Yeah, it's moving. Sometimes. We're really down in my noise. Amplifier. Decrease some RF. This W6IWN's down in my noise, but I'm going to try to see if I can get him. I'll call CQ again. California 17. Oops, I need to switch to 17 is L10. Come on, I heard you calling CQ before. Now that I'm ready to respond, I can't hear him. Alright, he stopped calling CQ for some reason. Alright, no response. So I was going to go 15 meters, A7. I was going to go FT8. 40 watts. I'm going to call CQ instead of hunting. Even. Enable. says CQ test. Where's my thing? SWR still below 2, which is okay. I've got the Palomar Bullet endfed antenna. It's got the 71-foot cable on it. The only two bands I have problems with are 15 meters and 40 meters as far as trying to tune it. I think I moved that, that's why it changed. Alright, I don't need my radio for FT8. And we're in this little blank area calling CQ on 15 meters, FT8. What do I need over here? Alright, here's some 15 meters for my PSK report. It's northeast here and a little bit to the north. So I don't have real good propagation for 15 meters right now. K5RE, I know who that is. I forget the name though. So we're trying 15 meter. What is this thing? We're trying 15 meter FT8 right now. Alright, there's a response right there. From Wisconsin up north. Although out to the right it says Illinois, Wisconsin. Alright, and we're not concerned about the signal report because it's the digital contest. We just want the grid square. So I'll go back into enable. So I'll start sending CQ again. Got a 19 signal. Let's see if I can get that one. Stop. KX8X has a 18 dB signal in FT8 right now. I'm going to see if I can make that contact in Michigan. Oh, he's responding. He only sees me at -22 though. Now his signal is at 11 dB. Alright, he sent us at RR73. Now he's not set up for the contest because he sent a signal report, but I still got his grid square EN82. And the only reason I picked him was because of the 18 dB signal. Here's another one with the 22 dB signal, also out of Michigan. I will get that one as well. Alright, I need to take a look at my SWR for this. NE8Z is responding to me with the 29 dB signal. Sometimes the reading for the SWR and FLRIG is not accurate, but it's usually a little bit higher than what it actually should be. So like right now it's just above 1.5, but I see it bouncing here in FLRIG, so I just checked it to make sure it was okay. Alright, contact there, enable TX again, and we're back in. Is anyone else doing the digital contest, either the ARRL or the PSK31 contest? I'm going to rotate back and do some hunting on the POTA spot page and see if there's anything new there. Looking at my PSK reporter, I'm getting some going out west now, but again, most of it's out to the northeast. Oh, I'm sending CQ. Got to get my screen back over here. We got Grid Tracker talking to WSJTX. So rather than clicking over here, I just click over on this side because it shows me the call signs and the signal reports form. W3LL is responding from Maryland with a 13 dB signal. Everyone's got strong reports except for me. My reports are -22 and -20. But you don't need a signal report in this contest, even though this one sent a -5. They got me at a -5. That's good. Enable TX. Again, if you're watching and you're doing the ARRL digital contest, go to File, go to Settings, Advanced, Special Operating Activity, click that on, and click that to the ARRL digital contest. That way you're only sending your grid square and you're not sending the signal report. So it's a little bit shorter exchange. I got an alert here on the cell phone. Says, do you want to set your phone to automatically restart when needed? Answer to that is no. Alright. No one's responding to my CQ. I got a few there on 15 meters. So we're going to break back, go back and look at the POTA spot page and see if we can find some more contacts there. So we need to close that. Close. Grid tracker. It's not needed. Need to open our Hamrs. And I keep all of my radio applications on a single menu here. I have a startup group here that will start every app that I use for radio, so I don't have to just click one after the other. I click startup and it launches them one after the other for me. I usually do that when I first start for the day, so I don't have to click a bunch of applications and get them open. So we wanted Hamrs back open. Alright, we got Hamrs back open. And we want to go to today's log, pota spots. I'm not hearing much on 17 meters today from this location. $10 is still a dead zone for me. Let's see what's on 20 meters. Alright. I was hearing part of that, but not much. Alright, that's a CQ. Alright, that is Whiskey 4 Whiskey Kilo uniform. Signal's fading on me. Alright, we'll just say we can't hear you. All of my CW signals appear to be a little weak. Put it on amp 2, I can get the signal. N4NP in Kentucky. Signal's kind of weak. There it is now, it's strong. We're on 20 meters. Should be on A5. He spotted on 346, but I'm hearing better on 345. The signal's fading in and out. Alright, I can't hear you, sir. So we'll move on. Get off of that amp. Alright, there's Jim again. See if I can hear him on 20 meters. I'm hearing one side of it, it's kind of low. What I like about Jim is that he will record his contacts, and then he will post them on YouTube. Let's go over here. I don't know how this audio is going to work coming from the computer. We'll give it a try. But if I go, oh look, Kilo India 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango is live right now. If I go search for his call sign, go to his page. This is one he did yesterday. And I know that I made a contact with him. If you go to more, and he lists all the call signs that he talked to, and he's got a timestamp for them. So if I go find my call sign, which is right there, and click there, I don't have any sound. That's going there, that's going there. That's because it's at 0 over here. This is the one before me. So he's finishing up with that one. Oh, that's me, I'm sorry. I didn't have my sound up, so I didn't do it right. Let's see if I can find it. There it is, right there. There's my call sign, so I click it. So this is me, Kilo Indy 5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. Jim always sends my name, so I send his name back. I send him a thank you, and then Jim, then the signal report. Texas, 2 times. What's nice is you can hear yourself sending, and you can hear what other people hear, basically. So I like to do that. That's why I keep him in my ham alert, because I like to hear what I sound like on the other side. But I'm not hearing Jim today. Upper sideband. Turn that audio down from the computer. Alright, we're back to hunting the spot page. I've got an endfed antenna on a mast that's mounted up about 20 feet high. The mast is 20 feet high. It slopes down to a shed that's about 20 feet. And it slopes over to a fence that's about 6 feet. Then it slopes over to a stake in the ground that's about 3 feet off the ground. Usually works pretty good, but it picks up a lot of noise. Are we on 20 meters? A5, yes. One side of this was pretty strong. I'm trying to see if that's the activator. Doesn't sound like it was. I hear him calling CQ in the background. Not getting any CW today. Now, if I was out at the park where there's no interference around, I would probably get all of these stations. But we have to check anyway, just to see. Signals are down in the noise. Not hearing much on 20 meters for CW. Might be different for someone else. These are out of my, what do you call that thing? Out of band for me. I'm a general. I stop at 150. This is 174. See if I can hear it though. Nope, not hearing it. Just listening, not transmitting. Alright, here we go on 227. Says it's Germany. Just heard a flash, another flash. Might be lightning. 242. CQ pota down in the noise. That's down in the noise. Don't know what that is. There's something to the left of it.
Oscar Delta.
255.
Tango, Oscar Delta. Houston 0 to 0. Houston 0 to 0.
I missed the call sign there. He's down in the noise there.
Kilo Delta 3 Alpha. Give it to me again.
Alright, there's a signal out to the right there that's pretty strong, so I'm going to move over there.
Mike, Fox Lima, Mike, over.
260.
QSL 59 both ways, 73.
Of course, the showing signal is not the one calling CQ. I'll go back to the spot page here.
Bravo, listening for anyone, anywhere.
Anytime someone says listening for anyone, anywhere, Oh, that's Battleship Iowa.
November, India 6 Bravo, Bravo, listing for anyone, anywhere.
NI6 Bravo, Bravo. Battleship Iowa. Sounds like there's two stations calling CQ. NI6 Bravo Bravo and someone else calling CQ Contest. Ooh. Excuse me. But I can't hear either one of them, so I'm going to move on.
CQ contest, Kentucky QSO Park from Whiskey, X-ray, 4, Whiskey.
Whiskey, X-ray 4, Whiskey.
CQ contest, Kentucky QSO Park from Whiskey, X-ray, 4, Whiskey.
Kilo, India 5, Whiskey, Whiskey Tango.
CQ contest, Iowa, QSO Park, NI6 4,
November, India 6 Bravo, Bravo, listing for anyone, anywhere.
The Delta Lima X-ray again.
Alright, you got NI6 Bravo Bravo and Whiskey X-ray 4 Whiskey, both on 14263. They apparently cannot hear each other, and neither one of them can hear me.
Thank you and good luck. You are good. Whiskey X-ray 4, Whiskey for the Kentucky people.
So I will move on. Strong signal below me just died out. Always chasing signals here. As soon as you get to the big signal, it dies out. .236. I believe they use that for what's it called? FLDIGI. What else we got here? Every time I move to a signal, it drops. Get rid of the amp. Alright, nobody's talking there. So I'm just looking at the waterfall. This one's a little off frequency. Did I talk to you before? November 4, Sierra Sierra?
Kentucky QSO Park, November 4, Sierra.
2 hours ago. There's a strong signal out there, and it died out. It's like they're in the middle somewhere.
CQ Kentucky QSO Party, Kilo Mike 4, Radio Oscar.
Kilo Mike 4, Radio Oscar.
Whiskey 0, Sierra India Delta, you're 59 Logan County, Lima Oscar Golf.
Alright, I already talked to him. Talked to him 4 hours ago.
QSLI 173.
I noticed a lot of these Kentucky
Kentucky QSO party. Kilo Mike 4.
QSO parties are doing like a half on the frequency, so 284.5 or 260.5. I don't know if that's the way they agreed to do it in the contest, or that's just something they do in Kentucky. Looking for other signals here. 310, 14310. Still looking on the spot page as well. 14310.
CMS with it.
There's nobody on 310. I'm hearing something though.
Oh, that's the W85. Go ahead.
It's kind of low, so move on. 315. Not hearing the activator on 315. Three two six 343 347. All right, nothing heard, people. Let's check one more band before we go here. 6 meter. I'm going to check 6 meters again to see if there's any activity. 5313 is the FT8 band for 6 meters. Last time I had to actually change the tuner. I hear a little noise there for FT8, so let's do this. Let's go to 6 meters. We're still ARRL digital. CQ on the even here. Alright, I gotta look at this thing again. SWR and ALC are good. 40 watts. And that's all we need. Man, that's a loud cracking noise. I gotta turn that all the way down. Alright, I'm sending out a CQ contest on 6 meters right now. KG6PH is just sending a CQ. Collin County, that's up where I work, up north of the Dallas area. He's in Echo Mike 13. If he calls CQ again, I'll pick him up and just send him my grid square. This thing keeps showing me the this contest log is from 2023, 2026. So down at the bottom here is the most recent contact I've made. Alright, he is not responding, so he may not hear me. Maybe too close. I'm going to go back to sending my CQs out. Because someone else may be listening and they may pick it up. Alright, I want to get my WSJTX over here. I get this over here. That right there. VA7GEM is one of the bonus stations. If you're doing the PSK 31, they're on 20 meters right now. I am not getting response on 6 meters. And I don't see it hitting the spot page, which means it's probably not getting out. The last, I looked at 6 meters a little bit earlier, and most of the connections I was seeing were local, like in the Dallas area. And there was a few going out to the northeast, but nothing big. Alright, so we gave up on 6 meter FT8. The last thing I want to check here is, what was it? Oh, I wanted to check the PSK contest one more time. I don't know what that is on the waterfall out to the right there, just noise, I'm guessing. So I got to go back into FLDIGI. Got to go to 14070. And I got to look for digital signals there. W9YB, I will send my call. And my ALC might be a little high. SWR is a little high because I'm on 20 meters. Need to go to A5. It says QRZ, QRZ. Alright, they're both back down. I'm using the manual tuner here. I have to manually switch bands on the tuner. Saying again, I'm at 80 watts, which is way too much. W9, Whiskey 9, Yankee Victor is apparently not hearing me too good. I did, however, get a spot on 6 meter FT8. His number is 2693. My number is 0. He says again. I'll give him a second, and then I'll send it. We'll see if he got it that time. No response. Here we we go with his response. He says CSB, QSB, no copy. I'm reading you loud and clear. I'm going to send 2 responses. If he doesn't get that, that means he can't hear me for some reason. That's a little off frequency from what we were just doing. So W9YV, we didn't complete, sir. If I didn't complete that, I'm going to delete it from my log. Bonus station N3CHX is there. I don't have NC3HX in my log yet, so we'll see if I can get him. Looking at the signal browser, I see this message right here, sending a QTH and a bunch of other stuff that we don't need. So we'll go here and we will call CQ. I've already been spotted 1920 doing PSK. That just lets me know my signal's getting out if I can hit one of the DX spot pages here. K4RT is possibly sending a CQ. We are using FLDIGI to send the PSK31 signals. It's just a data mode. The radio is set to data upper sideband with the bandwidth at 3000. And I'm using mostly macros. All of these little buttons here have commands assigned to them. The TX is transmit, and this is the text that I want to send. the my call is my call sign, so it'll send KI5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango 2 times, followed by K, and then the RX in brackets is the option that tells the radio to go back into receive mode. And basically you can select any of these tags here on the right, any of these tags, and then you click this little arrow and it moves it over to the box. Now if you want it to, you can, if you know the tag itself, you can just type it in. You don't have to select it. And I'm not going to change anything there, so I didn't hit apply. So when I click CQ, it takes that command that I have there and it sends it. That's what I was looking for yesterday. You put a Control R at the end of that text box when you're done. If you don't want to use macros, you can just type what you want in this box right here. Then it's the Control R. And then down in the lower left hand side here, there's a T/R. You click that and it transmits whatever's in this box right here. And I believe the Control R at the end tells it to stop sending. Yeah, see, it stopped sending there and went back to receive mode. Now if you wanted to, you could, here's this bonus station again. See if I can get the bonus station. There's also KC3FL calling CQ. But I'm waiting on this bonus station to, and of course they won't send it out again because I'm sitting here waiting for it. Alright, we'll try to catch that CQ. KC3FL. It's yellow, that means I've got him on a different band. So I'll send KC3FL my call sign just to get his attention. Since it's in lowercase, I'm assuming he's just typing the commands. So I have to wait for him to finish typing and hit transmit. Alright, here's another CQ. KC3FL. I'm going to try to reach him one more time. The DE is shortcut for from. So KC3FL from KI5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. There's another one, W6GOK is also trying to respond to him. Alright, so he's hearing W6GOK, but he's not hearing me. He said QSL Don, he knew his name. KC3FL, I'm going to send you my call sign one more time, KC3FL. Alright, KC3FL is not hearing me. So back to calling CQ. See this big button here that says My Info? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's when I was that's when I was first setting up for PSK, so. What? I was on this frequency, sir. I will move down here and call CQ. Again, this is a 3-day contest for this PSK 31. Alright, someone's responding to me somewhere. I saw my call sign in green right here, but I wasn't able to decode it. Let me see if it'll come back to me. It's W6G something. W6G, okay. Alright, he's sending the number already. QSL, he says, and I will answer. There's another CQ going right here, N3CHX. But I gotta wait for him to respond before I can move off. QSL 73. Thank you, he says. This N3CHX is really slow about calling CQ. NC3HX. So how about that, NC3HX? I'll send you my call sign. See if I get a response there. It says QRZ, QRZ, N3CHX. QRZ. And I will send my call sign. N9JCA, is that another? That's another bonus station. I put them in my ham alert, so if I don't if I don't recognize them right away, I know it's something to do with this PSK contest. Alright, there's my response. It's kind of cut off. It's very cut off. I don't hear anything. So I will send you an again. I started sending here, but it got cut off. I didn't see the rest of it. And this is one of the bonus stations, so I want to try to get this one. And of course he's not responding. N3CHX, that's why. Yeah, he is a dupe. Sorry. I had the call sign put into the wrong here, so it didn't notice that it was a dupe. Okay, so we'll try some of these other KF3AA. KF3AA, I think I've got you too. Yeah, I've got you already. K4RT. Don't have K4RT. Let's see if he comes back with something. Well, that's the WGO6 responding. I've already got the W6GOK, but I don't have the K4RT. Oh. There's a thank you. Well, I'm waiting for a CQ from K4RT. Which is not coming. I bet if I move away and try to hunt somewhere else, he'll come right back with a CQ. So I'm going to sit here and wait and see if he does come back. Doesn't look like he is. So I will send him my call sign. K4RT from Kilo India 5, Whiskey Tango. And no response. Looks like NJ2BB down here. Here's a CQ. I don't think I have that call sign. N8 EUI. I wonder if you can make that bigger. The text in the Signal browser screen, I wonder if that can be bigger. Logging controls, nope. Receive, transmit, macro editor you can change. There's a lot of information here. Transmitter location, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's kind of like that macro I was setting up earlier. I set this up years ago. I haven't used it. It still shows my 991A. I guess if you're an old PSK expert, you know what all those symbols mean. Alright, I thought I tried to call CQ a few times and got stepped on, so I'm going to try it again. See if we set the span as low as it'll possibly go. Alright, here is KC3FL. I I've talked to you on 40 meters. This will be 20 meters. It turns yellow up here if you've got them in your log from another band. It turns red if you've already made a contact on the same band you're talking right now. KC3FL is number 2566. Is that all he's going to send? Okay, I didn't see anything else. I don't remember if I logged this yet. I did not. So I hit log there. Told him thank you. And I saw my call sign up here. I'm not going to chase it this time though. I'm just going to call CQ again. "40 watts, SWR is below 1.5. Usually let that little line go down to the bottom before I start responding. There's K4RT that I was trying to get earlier. That's the wrong one. There we go. K4RT from me. If you hit the wrong button or you want to stop transmitting, you can hit this button right here and it'll stop transmitting. Alright, I'm coming up on 3 hours, so I'm about to sign off here. Come on, K4RT. I'm going to send to K4RT one more time. I'm hoping we'll have some DX propagation tonight so I can come back and send out some CQs and make some long distance PSK contacts here. Alright, I'm not getting a response from K4RT. K4RT. Alright, so that'll be my final contact there. Remember, you can always go over to contestcalendar.com, hit on the 8-day calendar. It'll show you all the different contests that are going on right now. This one that I'm doing is the 3-day weekend contest right here. And there's also the ARRL International DX contest here. Well, not DX, digital. So you can also do the digital contest. Again, if you're doing the digital contest with WSJTX, there's an option in WSJTX to tell it to go into contest mode. It's under File and Settings, under Advanced. Click on Special Operating Activity. Set it to ARRL Digital Contests. That way it'll only send the your grid square, and it doesn't send the signal report. It's a much shorter exchange. Alright, so I'm going to end this one, and I might be back later, depending on propagation. 73 guys, and thanks for watching.